There's a common misconception that Dubai is all about luxury and skyscrapers. And while that's partially true, there's so much more to this city than that. Dubai is a treasure trove with its hidden gems, each with its own unique character and story to tell. But why do we always focus on the same familiar spots? That's why in this video I'll reveal Dubai's best hidden gem neighborhoods for 2025, areas with huge growth potential that are still affordable and undervalued. But that's not all. Stick around till the end because I'll also reveal some of the areas that you actually should avoid in 2025, even if the hype says otherwise. But before we begin, as always, please leave a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe to see more of these videos in the future. And with that, let's begin with the first area. Everyone knows about downtown Dubai and Palm Jumeirah, Dubai Marina, but what if I told you that the real opportunity might lie in between these areas and might be even more stable and better for you, at least at this right moment in time in 2025. That's why I believe the first area that we should focus is Arabian Ranches. It's a very stable area that is often overshadowed by Demak Hills and Dubai Hills. I do believe Arabian Ranches is a very hidden gem for 2025, even though it's been here for a while, because it's really one of the most stable areas for investment here in Dubai. It's a very well-established villa-only community with strong reputation for quality, spacious living with big villas and mansions, and also long-term value appreciation. Also, what I like in here the most is that they're mostly developed. So Arabian Ranches 1 and 2, they're already completed and they can be already let for rental income or be really great resale investments for end users who want to move in there. Arabian Ranches is still expanding with the Arabian Ranches 3, which is the newest expansion with off-plan investment potential for those looking for long-term appreciation gains. The rental market for this community is super strong because it's really favored by expat families who are looking for a quieter space with really huge amounts of space for your family to live in. So it's very, very in trend and it will definitely remain so in the next few years. So I've checked also the DLD reports and I see that the resale value is also super stable, holding its value over the past few years and even increasing year on year for the actual resale. The lowest resale prices in that community are at around 3.5 million dirhams, while the lowest rents there would be at around 170 to 200,000 dirhams per year. So while this area is not as much in hype as the others, newer developments that all the developers and their agencies are talking about, and you might see more capital appreciation for this specific area, I still think that you will have a very good stable investment. So it won't be the risky one, but it would be definitely super stable, hold its value, and even see some good capital appreciation over time. Also, since this area is kind of overshadowed nowadays due to the newer developments and newer communities in Dubai, I think you would be very welcome to negotiate the price and you might find something better and also more spacious versus the newer communities that are currently being developed. So instead of waiting for a few years on a newer community to be built and for your off-plan to be capitalized, why not check Arabian Ranches and see whether there is already something ready-made for you. You can even benefit of a mortgage on that, and you can even get it as an investment and you would have some cash flow right away. The next area that I want to talk about is Dubai Silicon Oasis. Once known as a tech hub, DSO has now developed into a fully integrated community with both residential and commercial units. With affordable apartments, a growing business ecosystem, and high rental demand, it's becoming a go-to destination for specifically first-time investors. So what's the investment appeal about this specific area? Let's start with the apartments, which are significantly cheaper than Business Bay, Dubai Marina, JLT, and all other more centrally located communities. Yet it is very, very accessible by car, which only takes me around 15 minutes from the Creek Harbor where I currently live and about 20 minutes from Business Bay and downtown. There are high rental yields because the apartments are priced pretty good, and there is still high demand from young professionals and tech professionals who are coming to Dubai. And you know that in the past few years, there's been a pretty big inflow, specifically in tech, and there are definitely more and more apartments and developments being built there. While previously I wouldn't be so sure about this area, nowadays I see a really developed infrastructure there, and every time I pass by DSO, I see newer buildings and the community being a bit more organized, more arranged, flowers everywhere, and making it a bit prettier than few years even ago. They even have retail and community parks, which make it definitely more attractive. It's also a freehold area, making it very safe and also budget-friendly option for, again, first-time investors. So to summarize, low capital entry and high rental yields are the main benefits of Dubai Silicon Oasis, and the trend is for tech professionals and remote workers specifically who are moving around this area to either live in there or rent their commercial spaces for their offices. During my exploration of Dubai Silicon Oasis, I had the pleasure of meeting Imad, who is the founder of Wim Real Estate. Imad's genuine and straightforward approach was instrumental in helping me secure a commercial studio for my newer ventures, including filming new videos here on YouTube. We met in the area, he showcased some really impressive studios, and most importantly provided some invaluable advice on cost-effective renovations, as I didn't know what were the prices and how I can do it. Since I really enjoyed our meetup, I was certain to recommend him and Wim Real Estate to you. Beyond commercial rentals, Wim Real Estate specializes in off-plan sales and ready-made properties in various up-and-coming but also prime locations. I highly recommend visiting their website to see their most updated offers, reaching out to Imad directly via WhatsApp, and following their Instagram for the latest updates. No doubt, they will surely help you in a very similar way how I do here with my videos, very transparent and tailored to each client. Now back to the next area, and that is Al Quoz. While I'd never really mentioned this area, it's becoming a pretty trendy hotspot from being just an industrial area in the past. While before you could see only car repairs and just car sales centers in Al Quoz, nowadays you can see a lot of art centers and lifestyle amenities for anyone who visits Dubai. A lot of creative spaces, really cool restaurants and brunch places, and a lot of community buildings where you can do all things from yoga to some art classes. Nevertheless, let's see what is the actual investment appeal for you as an investor. Al Quoz will make sense mostly for you in a commercial sense. So all the commercial buildings are pretty in demand right now because of all this newer creative and artsy communities and companies that are popping up in that area. You have new boutique cafes, art galleries, and even co-working spaces. One of the coolest places where I frequently go is Al Circle Avenue, which is a pretty well-known hub for art galleries, and there are loads of different restaurants and food trucks, so really cool place to visit. Yet besides commercial offerings, there are also upcoming residential developments, as in several developers are actually now focused in creating some kind of loft style apartments for younger entrepreneurs and professionals who are living in that area. It is also close to downtown. It's only a short drive to Business Bay, Sheikh Zayed Road, and downtown Dubai, which makes it truly a prime location for working professionals in specific. So who's buying? First of all, investors who are looking for opportunities before the prices will surge. Secondly, creative entrepreneurs and businesses who are looking for more unique creative spaces for their commercial units. And finally, young professionals who will look into the residential offerings there and don't want to pay the Dubai Marina or downtown prices. Although I would say that after my own analysis of the area's residential prices, it's not the cheapest definitely in Dubai, but it's still a pretty good alternative to the other hyped up areas. And if you actually have your work location in that specific area of Al Quoz, then it would make total sense for you. Next area that I want to talk about is the new powerhouse near Dubai downtown, and it's called Al Jadaf. So why is it a hidden gem? Well, that's because it's located just minutes away from downtown and Business Bay. Well, it has really good offerings and at better prices for both residential and commercial spaces. It is even opposite Dubai Creek Harbor where I currently live, so it's very easy to access from all parts of Dubai. Of course, it's a bit more far away from Dubai Marina, but if you're in this part of Dubai, you are really in close proximity and have a very affordable offering being in Al Jadaf. That's why the main investment appeal there is that the prices are lower than in Business Bay and downtown, so you have a lower entry barrier, but still have a very strong rental appeal because it's in close proximity to downtown and all the other important places for people who want to commute to work, for example. So you would always definitely see some demand for your apartments if you decide to invest in Al Jadaf. Besides that, the long-term appreciation will also be boosted because major hotel chains are coming into this area, such as Ritz-Carlton and many other brands, and also it's in close proximity to everything and has a very nice access to the Dubai Canal. So in this case, who's buying in Al Jadaf? It's mainly investors who are looking for best cost alternatives to downtown Dubai and is mainly popular in rental terms for those professionals who are working in Business Bay or downtown and don't want to pay those crazy prices nowadays. Finally, I want to talk about an underrated community, and that is Al Furjan. Although I never really mentioned it on my channel, it's a very nice family community that is often overlooked in favor of JVC or the first area that I mentioned, Arabian Ranches. So while Arabian Ranches is already a stable area, which also is, in my opinion, underrated, and I've specifically mentioned it as the first area in this video, I also think that Al Furjan, it is another area that you definitely have to look into, and if you want to pay better prices for a very nice, spacious villa, then that is the place for you to look into. It's a very growing, family-oriented community and offers really high-quality villas, and it's not really located too far. It's a very great alternative to JVC and will definitely see much more investment appeal in the years to come because of also the metro expansion. Yet if we look on the side of who's buying in this area, then it's mainly expat families who are looking for better alternatives to the overpriced communities and want some ready-made villas with affordable pricing and good connectivity. In terms of investability, this is an area mainly for investors who are targeting very long-term growth. However, similarly to Arabian Ranches, this will be a very stable investment that will definitely bring you some good rental income and you won't worry about not finding a tenant. And now I want to focus on 3 areas that I think in 2025 in specific you shall avoid. And this might actually surprise you because all these areas I was considering in the past. However, for this specific year, I believe these are just no-goes. First one is Jumeirah Village Circle. There is simply too much supply, and while there is demand, it's just too little demand for that supply. That's why specifically if you're looking into JVC and you're looking at the off-plan market, the prices are actually higher than the ready-made properties. So going back to the previous video that I made where I compare the ready-made prices with the off-plan, this is an area that this concept specifically applies to because you can find a really good ready-made apartment under the price of an off-plan deal. Rental yields are also kind of stagnating because of the excess availability, and a lot of people or investors who got into this area are now doing Airbnb to maximize their returns. So in my opinion, this area for this year specifically should be on pause for you as smart investors here. However, again, if you find a really, really good deal in that area that you analyze and see that actually makes sense comparing to the neighboring buildings or even comparing to the same type of apartments in the same tower, then definitely go for it. At the end of the day, it's all about the numbers. If it makes sense for you, the area also will eventually make sense to you. The second area, which is super hyped by all the agents I know in this market, is Dubai South, which personally, I think it will be a very interesting area in the very long term, but right now it just seems a bit too early for me to look for good capital appreciation there. So while I really love MR and MR's community buildings, I personally chose to live in one. I believe that this is a very long-term game, and if you're looking for immediate or some returns in the next 2 or 3 years, probably in 2025, you should consider some other areas because there are better pricings in other places, and you will basically be able to get something already ready in a developed community and start making cash flow right away. On the other side, if you are a bulk buyer, if you are a bigger investor and you're looking for very stable long-term appreciation gains, then Dubai South might be the best option for you. So it depends on the type of the investor that you are. For me personally, I probably would focus on some other areas. And when this community is being a bit more developed, even at higher prices, I would definitely consider it. And finally, a community that you would all be surprised that I'm mentioning here because I am a big advocate. I was and I will continue to be. However, in terms of 2025 prices, I believe Dubai Hills is a no-go. So let me explain you why. First of all, the same case as in some of the other overpriced off-plan communities. This specific area, it's built and the community is thriving already. So obviously the off-plans will already be kind of overpriced. And for me, it just doesn't make sense anymore because the rental yield on those apartments is higher in some of the other areas that I focus on. Secondly, the apartment sizes in that community are getting smaller and smaller, and I really don't like this. And even some of them are at the size of like 50 meters squared. That's why I believe that for those prices on those sizes for the apartments, it doesn't really make it as appealing anymore for me. It's definitely reducing the long-term value, and I'm not really sure if I'll see really high capital appreciation in the next few years because it's kind of already pretty well priced. So that's why I know you might be surprised, but these are the areas that I feel are good for this year, and these were the three others that I would personally avoid in 2025. Nevertheless, investing in Dubai market is really a interesting game, and if you want to get ahead of the curve and avoid costly mistakes, then do reach out to me because I do provide one-to-one coaching courses for you to ace this game. So what exactly do I help my students to achieve? First of all, spot high growth opportunities before the pricing would surge. Besides learning more about the market insights, how you can negotiate it better, which areas would perform the best, and also even which buildings are the best for long-term rental income or Airbnb income. So if you're serious about making profitable real estate moves, check out my coaching program in the description below, and let's make sure your next investment is a winning one. So which of these areas do you think has the most potential? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get into a discussion, and like and subscribe to my channel to see more insights in the UAE real estate market.